He is in excruciating pain, and the court can take note of that. Should order that he should be taken to hospital. He is not being seen by any medic. The people who tortured him are in court. His offense to be Jimmy's aide. That's the offense. So when Jimmy suffers, his aide must suffer. At this rate, even myself, as his lawyer, I may just be dragged into it. So the court should take notice. In regard to Mr. Kibe, please order that he goes for treatment before he can even seek to participate in any proceeding. Your Honor, you are a court of law. A court that respects the authority of its own processes and the authority and orders of other courts within the Republic of Kenya. The applicants are inviting Your Honor to consider an order issued by Justice Bahati on the 9th of August 2024, which order is in specific terms. Order 2 speaks to an order directing the state, including IG, DCI, DPP, their officers, their servants, their agents, from arresting Mr. Jimmy Wanjigi, from detaining Mr. Jimmy Wanjigi. In order 3, the learned judge specifically says, if by any chance you are detaining, you have arrested, you have in your custody Mr. Jimmy Wanjigi, you must set him free forthwith. Brought before you is a person who has been arrested, who has been detained in violation of those orders. They've done everything to ignore Justice Bahati and his orders. That is contempt of court. If they had any doubt as to the tenor, the meaning, or the substance of the orders issued by the High Court, nothing could have stopped them from going before that court to seek clarification or interpretation, to be told what the judge meant. What they did when Mr. Wanjigi appeared before the DCI in honor of summons was to throw Justice Bahati's orders out the window. They threw them out of the window and they said, you are now our prisoner. We will arrest you, we will detain you, and we will hold you. No less than 100 police officers involved in the high ground. Why are we here? Why are we here? If the orders given by the court could be thrown out the window in my presence as an officer of the court, why are we here? Have we gone to the state of the jungle? So, Your Honor, it is important that we bring every player before you, Your Honor, to order before we make even a single step in these proceedings. Everybody must accept and admit that we will submit to the authority of the courts and their orders whenever, wherever they are given, whether we agree with them or not. They cannot cherry pick. That for purpose of registering a charge, Against Mr. Wanjigi, we don't care about Justice Bahati's orders. And they want this court to now admit them. They want this court to even give them audience. They want this court to excuse their blatant breach of the orders of Justice Bahati. And as we speak, Your Honor, we have since filed a contempt of court application before the High Court against the acting IG and the Director of Criminal Prosecutions and Mr. Michael Sang, who was in charge of the operation.
Against?
We filed a contempt of court application before the acting Inspector General of Police, the Director of Criminal Investigations, Mr. Min, and Mr. Michael Sang, who was in charge of the operations, and is in court as we speak. He has brought to court his badge of honor as a disobeyer of court orders. He's brought it to court to show the court that orders don't matter. And Your Honor, when you retire to look at the orders you've shared with the court, it is in plain English. It is in plain English. They are told not to arrest, and if they've arrested, they've told to release forthwith. They chose not to. And Your Honor, reject the invitation to entertain a process that is already fraught with unconstitutionality from the beginning. The foundation of these charges is disobedience of court orders. Allow the High Court to deal with those questions. Then we'll come back before you once directions are given. No prejudice shall be suffered by the state or any party. No prejudice. Mr. Jimmy Wanjigi is a non-citizen of this republic. His residence is known, has been raided more than 2 times. It's the raiding spot for the respondents when they are bored. So they can always find it. The 4 weeks deferment will not prejudice anybody whatsoever, but it will uphold our constitution and our commitment to the rule of law. The second point, as I conclude, Your Honor, why we urge for deferment of the plea. The issue of ownership of firearms by Mr. Jimmy Wanjigi was litigated before the High Court in petition 520 of 2017.